And I always talk about how, right, specifically demons really are trying to cause a lot of people to kill themselves that they think are not becoming as evil and as sinful as they want. You know, usually you'll see someone famous or artistic, even if they're in a sinful life, like the entertainment industry, you see the ones who we would say the most decent, they don't really like that darkness. They always at some point start to complain about it. Instantly, they just seclude, and you can notice they just start coming out telling you they have depression, they have this, like that. You know? There is no such thing as mental illness. It just means demons are possessing them and torturing their mind. But that's still not enough to torture someone's mind. They actually do witchcraft in order to actually send those types of feelings of, you get me, like so sad and so depressed and so much despair and this and this and that, that then would actually send to your mind to actually kill yourself. Like, that's what I'm saying. Since religion is gone, since the spiritual background is gone, even those who, right, are going to act like they know that, like Muslims and Christians, they're still going to say they believe mental illness is out there. They know there isn't. Everything that attacks your mind, right, your mental health, unless it's a disease like dementia or something, as long as we're talking about mental health, it's caused by demons and powers that are dark, such as witchcraft and spells and curses and things like that. God has exposed me so much to what witchcraft feels like in the ears, in the eyes, in the brain, in the respiratory, the digestive, all other parts of my body. He has made demons put witchcraft on every part of my body so I can see what the hell it feels like. You know, it's like my life is being used to understand things that you would think God could just tell me. You know, he lets me experience it. You know, what a witchcraft feels like to attack you so much. Because, of course, everyone can say, yeah, I saw witchcraft too. I know we're humans. Demons attack all of us. I mean, I'm attacked with it in a way that I can actually describe it to you so well. You know what I mean? Because I've actually had so much done to me with the intention to teach me what the hell it is. You know? God didn't just put me through it. You get me? Just because you're just being harassed. No, I'm being taught stuff. You know? He's not going to put you through everything. Goodness, God is not evil. Just harassment, abuse, the things they do to many people today who really are feeling so... They usually use the word they lonely. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean they don't have family and friends. Even if they actually found someone so deeply connected to them, they're still going to feel lonely. You get me? Because there's a witchcraft making them feel empty on the inside. There's that demon possessing them, making them... You get me? It is not something you and I can ever help them with. You know, it's something only that we have to go to God and he's going to get that out of them. But if they don't know it's spiritual, right? They think it's just something you just have to feel better, or it's an illness, or that's how they destroy people. So basically, you know, I'm always praying to God, basically. You know what I mean? That he protects whoever right now is dealing with that, since he's already using me to tell people that his religions are corrupted and to teach you guys some unknown wisdoms on spiritual, you know, spiritual wisdoms that impact religion and everything else, since religion is just about our lives. You get me? In a way that I hope they find these poetry books, in a way that I hope they find this podcast, before the devil really gets away with pushing them to kill themselves or to die from some overdose or something. Because I'm seeing them every day. You get me? Some of them are famous, so they're just naturally going to come up on my feed. You know, you just go online, you're going to see it. Someone complaining about how they feel. Okay, and then I just naturally know when I walk around, I just know what's going on. You know? I don't have to know them directly by following them or anything. Just because they're in a sinful lifestyle doesn't mean I'm never going to know what's going on. Because God wants me to know what's going on. So he actually lets me see that stuff, you know? I see an interview of them talking about how sad they are, like that. And they have all the wealth you can imagine, you know? That's what I'm saying. There are people who are just, if you give that to them, they're so happy, they're going to go with the devil. And there are people who, right, when they've achieved that stuff, They're like, this is so empty. I don't want this. The devil is so scared of that person. He knows that's someone that if right now God called them, they're going to be the first one to take the pledge, you know? That's someone who really just wants peace. They have some good in them, even though they're very sinful. You know, sometimes they make very dirty songs. That's just someone who, if they had a chance, keyword if, they're going to take it. Okay, they're scared of that goodness. They want humans to have so much money and all these drugs and clubbing and all this filthy promiscuity to take you into a darkness that you can't come back from. So they're so scared when you don't like it. You get me? Because some actually just want to keep going that way, and they're not interested. Correct? Those are the ones we call evildoers, hypocrites. You know, who never change when people come to help them from God. So, you know what I mean? I'm doing my best to talk to God in a way that I'm asking him to always protect their life so that they're alive in the time that the truth comes down, because that's very soon. I just don't know how it's going to happen, but it's very soon. You know, it's possible that that prophet we all love, Jesus, is going to return. That's just not his name. His name is Isa. Something big is about to happen soon. I don't know. But I know that I'm being used to share what God has guided me to share with all of you. You know what I mean? And it's not hard, you know? I don't need to be some angel for you guys to believe it. I have the knowledge enough to help you understand. And then later on, I can give more knowledge in thorough, you know? Share things about my testimony of how demons persecuted me all my life, ever since my birth, to show you what that was teaching me and you, everyone. You know what I mean? It's not just because God I'm trying to pick my words carefully. It's not just because, right, I'm not a regular person. God one day would have guided me to this knowledge, right, and asked me to share it slowly over time as he blinds his creation. No one's going to find my podcast or anything until he sets a time, you know, and then everyone's going to have access to it. Oh my God, what's going on? Well, what Quran is corrupted like that. The Muslims are going to freak out. Muslims have already been telling that to them, but someone saying that in the ways that I explained it, the way that I connected, is going to be more comfortable and interesting now. Those who've always wanted religion and God, but right, they run away from all these religions because, right, they have so much evil in it, and these groups don't want to admit it. Those people and atheists who usually like to use some logic when it comes to the areas of immoralities in these religions, they're going to be happy because they're going to be like, that's the reason we were running away from these religions all this time. Thanks, you know? Those who are in darkness and too much sin and who would love to change, they're going to be like, oh my God, you know, maybe I'm going to find peace now, you know, maybe like that. Finally. It's something that will heal everybody, something that will guide everybody. These two words, healing guides, God came up with it. I have no idea how it came to my mind, you know? So one day God himself is going to guide you to the fact that what I say and right, the names and the terminologies and the things I use are actually him guiding me. So that then you can connect the dots and see a lot of things and understand things, you know, as he's comfortable over time in his own timing to guide you himself. I can't guide you to anything, you know. I can't make 50 billion episodes and make you're blind, you know. You're spiritually put on blind. You're spiritually deaf, you know. He has to set the time where everyone can like just freely, comfortably listen and understand and one day see who I am, etc. When God is comfortable, right, telling me who I am, because he hasn't told me in that sort of detail. But I just know what makes me different than a human. So I'm actually not a regular human, just so you know. So for that reason, I always pray to him, since the truth is soon and these people are alive, and a lot of them are in my generation, they're like maximum 30 now. I just ask him to protect them. 31, 32, right? We were the ones who were just 20 a few years ago. This time is too fast. They're attacking my generation, and someone who's the same age group as you, right, is basically sharing this stuff with you on how to heal yourself and using knowledge and unknown spiritual wisdoms as the background of how to accomplish that healing and how to connect with God, and stop relying on other people's interpretations and stuff like that, but actually call Him and pray to Him. And I just need to give you the basics. You'll take it from there. I can't guide you, only He can. I can't turn you into a Muslim who only follows the pure versions of this religion and the pure versions of the Bible, because we're supposed to use these two books. But Muslims don't ever even look at the Bible. You get me? They just neglect it. And that's another reason why the devil uses the Christians to then not give them any attention. He's like, oh, don't listen to them. They reject your book. And your book obviously is from God. And that's true. It is from God. You get me? So, and there you go. They don't also want to look at the Quran, which is obviously from the same God, Everyone is just boxing themselves. No one wants to use their mind. Some know that they're, corrupted. Some know there's nonsense going on. And they're just bad people. They just want to stay within what they want to just simply believe, But some don't even know what they follow. They just, are born into something. They just take the basics. Oh, I'm Christian. Oh, I'm Muslim. Oh, I'm Jew. Oh, I'm just Hindu. Like that. They don't really research what they even are affiliated with. And then they just go out into the world, increasing the number of that specific group they're from. But they don't actually, you get me? They don't have that sort of connection with that group. So don't actually think that's what humans are doing. That if they tell you they're this or that they actually somehow agree with everything. They don't know much of what they're even affiliated with. Because no one likes to give God and religion time. You're all distracted in this worldly stuff. So when you start to suffer, then you start to call God. I feel depressed. I feel sad. Help me. What should I do? You pray only one time as if, you're just going to have all your problems miraculously disappear. When you have to change your lifestyle and many things in order to be free from the demons that are tormenting you. God is loving, and if you call them once, that's enough, goodness. He's not deaf. He's not evil or weird or dumb. It's just that you have to fix things in order for that peace you're seeking to come in. Okay, so you need to be with Him forever. You need to be with Him longer for that problem specifically to disappear, such as the mental baggage and health problems you have. Okay, so there you go. Demons attack you in that gap. They're like, just pray once and forget about it. If He's so great and big and powerful, He should just help you one time. If you pray, everything should just disappear. Otherwise, He's not a God. Just forget about Him. And that's not the reason for all of you, but that's similar. You just give up because you don't see the result. But there's demons in your body. There's powers and dark things in your body, sadly. You're cursed and have witchcraft and bad things happening to you. God needs to educate you, just as He educated me. At your own level, He needs to guide you. So you need to stay with Him. You need time. You need time. He's not a haste God. He's not haste at all. But He wants you to give up evil, obviously, right that moment. Evil is not something we're going to obviously give you time. But He understands sins, right, that don't make you evil, that are more like temptation. He understands those ones you're going to keep going back until you have the strength to stop it. And some people are like, hell no, am I going to be dragged back and forth? They give it up all at once. Excellent. It doesn't mean He's saying it's okay to go back and forth. We're saying He understands that's usually what humans do. Is that how He created you? No. Demons are attacking you. You can fight them off at a different speed that someone else fought them off. It's based on every individual how much we choose to fight. So don't blame God on this. So I hope these poetry books help you then. Because I really added a lot of the basics in this podcast, what I teach, into the books. So that, right, it spreads that way, but I didn't explain the details. And you can't even do that anyway. And the poetry is really just focused on expressing some type of pain, and then the character, right, that's expressing that pain then starts to talk about what the solution is. And the solution is always to go to God Almighty. It's really gonna heal you. I did it to the best of my ability to speak in a way that humans could be like, oh my God, that's describing my situation. So yeah, I always pray to God that these people don't die, since the truth is coming soon, especially my generation, the people the devil is really trying to push to die through, murder and things like that, but also suicide, because they're so miserable. Because he knows if they were to just live a little longer, right, to the time that God intended, that they're going to be among the followers of the truth that's about to come very soon. Whoever God chooses to be leading that, these are going to be the companions of the right path, or the straight path, as Islam says. Straight path, it's not crooked. It just means morality. So he hopes they kill themselves. I understand you, and that's why I wrote these books. It's to heal you. But you can obviously just come to the podcast as well. Take care of yourselves.